Nevertheless, America, trying to remedy some of those bad situations, man didn't have it in his nature, he didn't have it in his character, didn't have it in his spirit to be nice and to be kind to people. So they went forward with the democratic process of passing laws where you might have not enough white people or a group of people to support a situation. You might be able to get a number from another group of people that would make the number massive enough to maintain dominance. And so you would have a law that is passed that is forcing people to act a certain way or undergo a certain punishment. So to protect themselves from having to go there, they go along with the law. But it doesn't change their spirit. It doesn't change their character. Within, they are still whatever would deny life to others. And Americans know this. All white folks know this. Maybe, except maybe some of the young ones. But white people know this. And so when Donald Trump, back years ago, decided he wanted to run for president of the United States, white people knew Donald Trump. White people knew the laws that had been passed that would keep Donald Trump out of the White House, that would keep anybody who had those basic principles carried forward out of the White House. At least they thought. And so when Donald Trump came on the scene with the notoriety that he has, you know, flamboyant, a racist, but trying to ride the top ladder, BSer, all these guys were quite familiar with Trump. And so they exposed Trump. They did what the media didn't have to do. They exposed Trump to America. They exposed Trump to the world because they knew that there are laws that protect people from that evilness of Trump. So they exposed him. But what happened was the American people didn't care. They says he's an evil man. He's not a good man. That's okay. He might help us. Good men, you're talking about the status quo at the time, have brought us nowhere. We're still here. So give us the evil man. And so they voted and got the evil man. The evil man played every part he possibly could in stealing that election. And he set it up so that the next election he would be able to maintain the power by setting it up for stealing it as well. And the number one thing he did was by trying to reveal to the American people that he was so great and so loved and had done more profit for America than any president in its history, that they loved him and they would reinstate him in office. This is what he told the American people in essence. And that if he ended up not coming back in office, it had nothing to do with his inability. It had nothing to do with failure that perhaps people felt at his administration. It meant one thing, that they stole it. That they stole it. And all of a sudden, people started looking at the Democrats, trying to see, watching every move they make. If you see something, speak out. And they were so out for the Democrats. And all the time, Donald Trump and his courts, his evil people who didn't care about anything, just like he doesn't, they were scheming. They were scheming just in case something goes wrong over there and we can't win outright. We'll try this. These are the schemes to steal. We'll try this. We'll try that. We'll put our own electors in. We'll just get our people to agree. And then we will stand up, because Donald Trump will stand up against anything. He'll tell any lie. He'll do anything. Just get the other Republicans to agree. Why this didn't? But for some strange reason, it failed. Oh, they were ready. but it failed. But Trump still is the same man. He's still the same crook. The only problem was that after the guys Republicans who warned about Trump, saw that the American people didn't care about the evil, then all of the evil that was really them, that they had been hiding because of the law, now they felt free to turn it loose, forget the law, just like Trump, and do all of these ugly things that Trump says is okay. That's what happened. So now you got all these white people who have turned and become against others because Trump has said it was okay. All because when America had the opportunity, which was before now, to fix this mess, they didn't. And this is what they created. Now, as I've indicated to you, the choice is put before you again. You know what the Republicans offer. I repeat back to slavery that they deny ever happened. Democrats don't want to go that far. But those of you who suffer now will continue to be suffering under either of these administrations, and there is no human being that's going to come up with a scheme that's going to free you. The only scheme that will free you is one that is handed down to those who can hear, and they will share with you. And that's what God does. And the thing about God that makes it obviously God is that we say that every life, the breath was breathed into that body. And that breath represented God. And so when God says food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, anything that comes from the hands of man, God is talking about every individual on the face of the earth is accessible to when they need, when they want, when they desire. That distinguishes between God and any other that fails, all others that fail. And see, when you know this and you walk according to this, this is the message that God wants you to know. You don't have to go. Now, if you live like this and you've accepted this and you've got peace, prosperity, freedom, happiness, and joy, and living your dream, if you actually are in receipt of these, what would make you change, break the rule, and listen to another? It is deception that will mislead you. You'll buy into it because it promises you something that others won't have. It promises to make you more, better, deserving, dynamic. And you buy into it. But the whole purpose of unity is so that you, human beings, can work the wonders that God has already planned. And so back to the politicians that warned America about Donald Trump and the evilness that he represents, who, having recognized that the American people didn't care, they themselves then joined and added their evilness to that which Donald Trump represents. And America has before it now this choice that the Republicans and Trump is putting before you, and whatever the Democrats are saying, or what God is offering. This, my friends, is now a choice. Now, it has been said that if you got a program that's set up, a system that's set up that makes sure that nobody suffers anything, that you got socialism. And I tell you, everybody on this face of this earth at one time or another set up talking about dying, going to heaven. They don't believe in having heaven on earth. But they talk about dying and going to heaven where they don't have to worry about anything. Which means that socialism is so doggone good and fantastic that it is the plan of heaven. This is what they're saying. I'm not saying it. I don't know anything about that. I just know what meets the need, what meets the wants and desires of God for peace and prosperity and freedom. That's what I'm responding to. But for what I hear Republicans saying, those who want to stand up for capitalism and privatization and the word that I want to say to describe the abuse that they lay on one another as they try to become more than everyone else. But it just sounds too bad. It's a cussing word. Anyway, I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that that choice is yours. That choice is yours. Now, it probably won't happen overnight. But it can happen. And let's make sure that it does, all right? I got a friend stopping by, my niece, so I'm going to cut it off for now, and I'll talk with you later. Until then, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.